Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Tag Medic. Thank you for joining me for this Fallout 76, how to get to Vault 79. Now, running around in this game, you're going to run into a lot of different main story quest missions, and at some point you're going to get lost. I did. I admittedly had to kind of figure out like, alright, what's going on? So of course we take to Google and we look for the missions for how to get to Vault 79. Unfortunately, a lot of that information is just follow the Overseer's quest, which is very vague, and there's a lot of information saying you need to go and do this, you need to go and do that. So I went ahead and created this video to help you guys better understand what it's going to take, because at some point down on the Overseer's quest, you're going to run into a bunch of branching arcs in order to complete all of them so that you can actually get to the point to which you're able to raid Vault 79 with either the raiders or the settlers. So please stay tuned, and like always, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll try my best to go out and help you. Remember, this information is to the best of my knowledge, and I'm hoping that this helps you out. So please stay tuned. Okay, so we're here. We just got spit out of Vault 76. The first character that you're going to have to talk to is Pennington. Pennington will go ahead and tell you to run on down and talk to these two ladies down here. You can also go ahead and pick up a number of different items. Inside of these bins is going to be an Overseer's log that you can go ahead and pick up, and it looks like I lucked out here and got some free stuff. So that being said, there's also a note on the front of this which is welcome to the wasteland that you can go ahead and read. They're also going to talk to you about a treasure which you need to ignore, which is at the Wayward. This will take you and derail you for hours and hours because it's a pretty lengthy quest line involving a specific treasure which you should complete when you're level 50. It will award you a token in which you can trade for a piece of gear or weapon, so just keep that in mind. Eventually you'll make your way to the Wayward, in which you'll have the quest from those two ladies to search for a secret treasure, but you're going to ignore that and you're going to go over here to the Overseer's camp. Inside of this chest here is going to be a number of things, including an Overseer's log, in which you're going to have to go ahead and listen to, and it will let you know the next location, which is going to be Sutton. So just to recap, we came out of Vault 76. We got our initial quest from the droid that was outside. It's going to send us to Wayward, to the Overseer's camp, and now we are in Sutton. We are at the Overseer's house right here. You can go ahead and go into her garage. There's a number of different things in which you can pick up some more stuff, break down some items, as well as the ammo crate right there. But most importantly, you're going to go inside of the home itself and you're going to talk to the Overseer. The Overseer is going to send you on a specific quest. Okay everybody, once you get over to the Overseer's home, you're going to go ahead and talk to the Overseer. She's going to send you to the A.V.R. Medical Center to go ahead and take a look at a project for an inoculation against the Scorched disease that's going on. So this location is located to the south, and you can find it right here. I would suggest that you go ahead and leave the majority of the ghouls alive and just go down into the basement so that you can collect the sample once you get into the lab that's at the bottom of the basement. This quest is going to go ahead and initiate you to do a number of tasks in order to go ahead and find a fuse, which you're going to have to repair a specific piece of machinery inside the lab itself, as well as collect a feral ghoul sample. So once you got those things, you're going to go ahead and run the symptomatic against yourself. Make sure you pick up the findings at the kiosk there at the medical center, and then you're going to return to the Overseer's home. Once you get all that inoculation project done for that quest line, you're going to come back and you're going to talk to the Overseer. The Overseer is going to bring you down into the basement and you're going to meet Davenport. Now Davenport went ahead and found out about a couple of factions that are out there in the surface world, and he's going to tell you about the raiders and the settlers. So this is going to kick off a quest called Strange Bedfellows. So Strange Bedfellows is where you're going to have to make contact with both these factions. They are against each other, and your reputation will be determined by hitting Control and Tab on your keyboard, and you can actually see by hovering over your name what your reputation is. Initially, the raiders are going to be hostile to you, so you're going to have to go ahead and complete a portion of that quest line in order to get contact with them. But for the first part, from Sutton, you're going to have to go southeast down to Foundation and talk to Paige. You're going to have to convince Paige, who is the Foundation Settlers leader, that his people need to be inoculated against the Scorched virus. So this is going to entail a bunch of quests that are going to go ahead and, take place in this area down here. And then once you get that part of the Bedfellows quest done, you're going to be going to the Raiders. Okay, before you talk to the Raiders, you're going to have to gain favor with them. And by gaining favor, you're going to have to do a bunch of quests by tuning into a quest on your Pip-Boy called Signal Strength. So Signal Strength will be a huge vicinity around here in which it's going to be a yellow surface area. Once you tune into that, you're going to gain communication with Rose. Rose is going to help you repair a module for communication in order to progress the quest line with the Foundation, as well as give you access through her to the Raiders and Meg over here at the crater. So once you complete all of her quests, and there's quite a few of them, keep that in mind. It's going to take you some time, so just keep talking to Rose, keep completing the quests that she wants you to complete, and if you want, you can focus on the communication device repair. And once that's done, you can go ahead and tell her, I need your help. She'll go ahead and scratch your back, because you've already scratched her back a number of times to get access to Meg. Okay, so once you got all those quests done for the Raiders and you got access to Meg and you now have Paige convinced, you're going to be over here at the Foundation. If you're going with both factions, which you can do up to a point until you actually make the decision which group you're going to take into Vault 79 to raid, you have a choice to do all of the quests for both factions to gain reputation, and I highly recommend that you do so because it gives you huge chunks of reputation for both the Raiders and the Settlers. You're going to have access to both of their gold bullion vendors, which are located inside the base itself, and we can go ahead and run over here. Again, there's another donation box here with a bunch of information and some recurring ammunition depending on what weapon you're carrying, and you're going to gain access to Samuel here as well as the Raiders version of Samuel. So just keep that in mind. Get all the quests done for both factions up to the point in which you have to choose which faction you want to side with to go ahead and complete out the Vault 79 raid. So speaking more on the Settlers questline, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the map here. The Settlers questline will go ahead and send you to talk to a Hornwright individual, which I'm not going to go ahead and try to spoil for you, but eventually you're going to have to find a way to break into Vault 79 the least impactful way. You're going to recruit a number of different people to the Foundation itself, and you're going to get access to the Chinese stealth armor, which allows you when sneaking to be camouflaged at all times. Really good item to have. I highly recommend it, and it also has 1,000 radiation resistance so that you can utilize this suit inside of the radiation blast zones to better protect yourself. This quest is going to take place at the Hornwright estate as well as the Hornwright industrial headquarters, which you're going to have to find access to. If along your journeys you run into this area, which is the Charleston capital, you're going to want to go into the Hornwright industrial headquarters and explore it anyway, because it's going to give you access to a key card which you're going to use later on for Vault 79 to progress the storyline in this. So I highly recommend that you get the Hornwright industrial headquarters out of the way, as well as the Garahan mining headquarters, which will give you access to the Garahan estate as well as some information to the Hornwright estate itself. Once you get that done, you're going to have to run through a number of quests and just keep completing them as they come until you get to the point to where Paige has all of his recruits in order so that they're ready to go ahead and raid Vault 79. At that point, you'll be able to choose them, but let's go ahead and talk about the raiders. Once you finish all the quests from Rose at the top of the world, you're going to be sent to Meg, and with Meg you're going to have to talk to 3 different NPCs. One, which is a gentleman, is going to send you down to Woga to do a fight club to save a friend of his. After you complete that, you're going to have to go up here and talk to the super mutant in the crater core in order to go to Grafton Steel, which you're going to have to fight a robot at the end of the battle, which is really powerful, 3-star, but you can go ahead and easily defeat this boss by equipping concentrated fire and focusing on the fusion cores. When you focus on the fusion cores, you can blow him up very easily with any weapon. It's pretty much a guaranteed critical for about 1,000 damage a shot, and that boss will go down really quick. So once that's done with the super mutant and the gentleman, you're going to have to find one of the elder ghouls, which is also located. You're going to have to follow a trail that's inside of crater core itself. Eventually that ally will go ahead and allow you to follow the trail of this ghoul, and you're going to have to go ahead and rescue him, and I'm not going to spoil the rest, but you're going to have to rescue him. It's very cool. You're going to get a bunch of information, and at that point you're pretty much set and done with all of these. Now keep in mind that you can complete quests up to the point to where you're ready to raid Vault 79 for each faction and gain significant amounts to put you in the at least cautious or cooperative standpoint. I just heard something go off. But yeah, once you're there, you can also do quests called Eviction Notice and the Moonshine Jamboree, which will increase the reputation significantly for both of these factions. I highly recommend that you guys go ahead and do that. And at this point, you're pretty much set and good to go to Vault 79. Once you made it to Vault 79, you successfully raided it with whichever faction you chose. You're going to get a decision to be made here. So you're going to have to do some kind of diplomacy in which you can go ahead and split the gold, keep the gold, or you can hold the gold hostage. I recommend splitting it because it's going to gain you faction reputation for both factions, and of course it's going to complete the Vault 79 raid quest, which is going to open up Mortimer at the crater core and allow you to trade with Samuel over there at the Foundation, as well as open up a non-reputation gold bullion trader here named Regs. Now Regs is going to sell you a bunch of plans for armor as well as weapons and modification for those pieces of armor and weapons, and you do not need any reputation to trade it for him. Now keep in mind there is an NPC called Minerva which does sell some of these select patterns. It's a rotating schedule of what she sells, and she sells them at a 30% discount, so keep your eye out for that. She's located at a random location which you can Google on Tuesdays for about 2 days, and then her big sale at the end of a season which lasts about 4 days. You can go ahead and do that. I also recommend that when you're acquiring gold bullion that you go ahead and do a lot of the events around the map itself. One of them which spawns all the time is Radiation Rumble, as well as any number of the other things like Scorchbeast Queen. You can go ahead and take her out, get a number of treasury notes in which you're going to have to go ahead, and if I go to miscellaneous in my tab down here, you can trade in this specific item, which is a treasury note. You can trade 40 of them for 400 gold bullion, and that'll go ahead and allow you to buy from all three of these vendors. I also want to let you know that when you choose to talk to these guys, the Secret Service themselves, they will offer you an option to go ahead and give them the gold bullion in exchange for schematics. I recommend that you keep the gold bullion because you're gonna be able to buy the patterns from Regs anyway. So this will give you a 500 starting bonus of gold bullion, and like I said, when you go ahead and choose to talk to Paige or Meg, you're gonna have to determine whether you want to split the gold 50-50 with each faction, which will go ahead and give you some reputation. So I hope that this information helped you guys out, and again, please like, subscribe, comment, and hopefully we'll see you all in the next one if I don't get too busy with this game because it's really fun. But thank you for watching. Have a good day.